Hello friends, welcome to the very first video in my data science series. In today's video we are starting with foundation, how to work with data in Python using CSV and JSON files. These two formats show up everywhere in data science and mastering them early will make everything else a lot easier. Let's get started. First of all, let's start with the basics. How do we open files in Python? For that, Python has a built-in open function. Let's try this code. So this block of code is to write some data to a file, and this one read the data from a file. And as I said, to open a file, use the open function, and it takes two arguments, the file name and the mode. Modes include R for read, W for write, and A for append. And please note that always use this with block, because that way Python takes care of closing the file even if some error happens. Let's try to run this code. So this block of code writes this hello world string to a file named data.txt. Let's try this one. So the code runs successfully, and let's read it back. So here, opening this file, and the mode will be R. This text file will be opened as a file object, and f.read means the content of the file will be read to this variable named content. And here we print the data. Let's try this one. Yes. So that's it. Now that you know how to write data to a file and read it back, let's move on to the most common table-based format, CSV. So what is CSV? CSV stands for comma separated values. Think of it as a spreadsheet. Each row is a record and each column is a field. Python has a built-in CSV module that makes working with these files really straightforward. Let's see how. Let's go through this code. To work with the Python's CSV module, we need to import the CSV module first. In this example, we will try to write some data to a CSV file, then we will read it back. So this block is to write the data to the CSV file. As you know how to open the file name is employees.csv, and we are opening to write the data for it, so the mode is write. So here we get a writer object from the CSV module. In this data we have name, age, and department of the employees. In the CSV file, first we write the headers, then this line write the data to the CSV file. Let's run this. Yes, I didn't imported the module, so let's run this first, then run this. That's it. So the data is returned to the employees.csv file. Next, let's try to read it back. Open the file in the read mode. Read it. We get a reader object. So by providing a loop to the reader object, we can read each row as a dictionary. Here we print each row's name and department. Let's run the code. Name, department. That's it. Okay, CSVs are great for flat table-like data, but what if your data has a more complex structure like nested objects? That's where JSON comes in. JSON or JavaScript object notation. You can find this format in web APIs, configs, and at Exchange. In Python, JSON maps directly to dictionaries and lists, which makes it really easy to work with. Let's look at the sample code. This is the sample JSON data. Let's write it to a JSON file. For that, first we need to convert this JSON string to a Python object. Then this Python object will be returned to a JSON file. We have a module in Python to deal this, which is this JSON library. We need to import this library first. JSON.loads method will convert the string JSON data to a Python object. To write it to a JSON file, first we need to open the file in the write mode. Then JSON.dump method will save the entire JSON data to the file. Next, let's read this JSON file back to a Python dictionary. For that, open the file in the read mode. The file name is data.json. JSON.load. This method will read the data from the JSON file to this variable. So now we have read the data. Let's try to print it. So we provide a loop here, and the data has name, age, skills. For now, let's print only the name. Let's run the code to write the data. Next, let's run the code to read the data. Yes, it works fine. So let's understand some methods from this JSON module. JSON.load, which is used to read JSON data from a file object and convert it into a Python object. And what this does, JSON.loads. This one read JSON data from a string and convert it into a Python object. Next, to write a Python object as JSON to a file object, we use JSON.dump. JSON.dumps is used to convert a Python object into a JSON string. Alright, that's about reading and writing JSON data. Alright, let's combine what we have learned with a quick project. Say we have this product sales data which is saved as a CSV file. What we gonna do, we will read this CSV data from the file, then summarize its total revenue by region. Then the final summarized data will be saved as a JSON file. So how do we find the total revenue? For that, we need to multiply each row's unit sold by its price. Then we need to sum those values for each region. For the region, we have only two values, north and south. So let's try the code. So first of all, we need to import the CSV module and JSON module. So this variable is a dictionary which is used to save the summarized total revenue. First of all, we need to open the CSV file in the read mode. Then here we get the reader object. We need to loop it. Then what we need to get is first we need to get the region. Then we need to calculate the revenue. As you know how to calculate the revenue. Each row's unit sold by its price. So we get the revenue value for each row here. Then we need to sum up the revenues for each region. This line of code does that. And totals dot get region of 0. This means if the dict name totals have a region already saved, then its value will be returned. Otherwise, it will return value 0. After calculating the total revenue per region, we need to save the final data as a JSON file. For that, open the JSON file in the write mode and json.dump. This line writes the JSON data to the summary.json file. Let's run this. Code runs successfully. Okay, so let's check whether the data is saved or not. Let's read the summary.json file. Open the file in read mode, then json.load f. This will read the data and save to this variable, and this line prints the data. Let's run the code. And that's it. So for the north region, the total revenue is this value, and for the south region, the total revenue is this value. And that's it. You have just learned how to work with files in Python, read and write CSVs and JSONs. If you found this information helpful, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more data science tutorials. Also, drop a comment. What data formats do you use the most? Is it CSV, JSON, or something else like XML or Parquet? I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.